Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay. We are doing a spoiler review, so spoilers all around. Let's do it. All right, so what did you think of this movie overall, man?
It was definitely an enjoyable movie. I actually see most of these DC anime movies ever since Flashpoint Paradox. Ironically, now that we're mentioning Flashpoint Paradox, um, have not really been the most. I want to say they've been. I want to say they're horrible, but they haven't really been the most what I would say interesting of the
Okay,
films.
just to
And
clarify, you're not including Flashpoint Paradox in this, right?
yeah, like obviously Flashpoint Paradox is interesting, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying
I
after that,
okay.
you know, the movies haven't really been something I would say is like, oh my God, like you have to watch it. They just been kind
Yeah,
of like,
yeah, definitely.
yeah, it's there,
Because
definitely there.
for me, I really liked Flashpoint Paradox. I also, I think my favorite DC animated movie of all time. I have to think about this a little more, but right now on the top of my head, I'm gonna say that it's the Red Hood one, Under the Red Hood.
Oh yeah, nothing beats that one. I definitely agree.
Yeah. Anyways, that's a tangent, but yeah, for this movie, I was super happy, or I got excited when I saw Eobard Thawne in the movie, just because I like speedsters, you know. So it's like
Mhm.
yes, speedster in this movie. Even though he wasn't as fast, it made it more interesting that he wasn't as fast, in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
it gave him like this
Yeah,
handicap.
it definitely did. I was actually surprised about that because at first, I don't know, like sometimes when movies, I sometimes like my head kind of like sometimes I do get distracted by my phone. So at first I was wondering because I knew he was there. I was like, how come he didn't catch up? So then I
Yeah,
replayed the scene again, and then I'm like, oh, okay, there's something up with him.
yeah,
So
exactly. And when he revealed it, I was like, "Oh my gosh, his head is still shot open." And I was like, "What's going
yeah,
on?" And and he told this whole thing about the Speed Force and how he did it at the very last microsecond, and he somehow got into that time, and it's like a fog and everything. I thought that idea was so interesting. Like that
definitely.
that entire thing just made the part of the story so interesting, and it made me want to root for him. So I was basically just like, yes, get the card and then die and go to heaven. Yes, Reverse Flash. I don't know why I'm rooting for you. You're evil, but like I just like you right now.
But that's another thing interesting about this whole film because it's like they're all villains.
That's
So
true.
it's like, why do we root for the villain? So you're almost in this quest of wondering what's your favorite villain and what you're trying to root for.
Exactly. That's a good
Um,
point. That's a great point.
so like I think for me, I guess my villain that I liked and I was rooting for was uh the guy who got killed by the Reverse Flash at
Bronze
the end.
Tiger?
Yeah, Ron Steiger. I definitely, again, I liked his character a lot. I'm not even familiar with him, and
Yeah, me
I
neither.
really definitely did. I definitely like how he's sort of kind of a, somewhat of a mentor to Deadshot, and um, and definitely it was just interesting seeing his and then like even his like beliefs and like at the end he kind of gets his wish at the end with you know
I'm going to
punch
heaven.
potentially going to heaven. So I definitely do like how that movie has that aspect with all these villains that you kind of rooting
Yeah.
for the villains for,
Honestly
their
though,
own.
Bronze Tiger was not a villain. Like, look at the guy, man. He doesn't kill any like good guys. So he's basically like straight on vigilante that kills, and that's pretty normal in terms of heroes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why the heck is he even there? That doesn't make too much sense to me. And also, yeah, he's more of a rival in my opinion to Deadshot, not so much a mentor. But he
Def-
is very wise, you know.
Definitely.
Like so I enjoyed that character a lot. I was like, this guy's a badass. Like he's like in some ways he's a little bit because you know Waller was like, okay, this guy is the greatest, perhaps the greatest martial artist to live. And I'm like, how about Batman, man? How about Batman? Are you disregarding Batman right now? And then when I saw him fight in the movie, I was like, okay, yeah, I think he can probably maybe go head on toe to toe with Batman, maybe, you know. I kept saying maybe, but like, but when Waller said that, I was like, what the heck are you saying?
Oh, man, that's so funny. But yeah, speaking about the his fighting, I definitely felt like the fights in this movie were interesting. Especially the fight where they're fighting Vandal Savage's daughter and her beautiful lesbian lover. Um, yeah, I felt well, other than just like the nice like fight choreography and zoom in camera angles, but something about the fights felt like there was weight. like every time you hear them hit something, like you could feel like a heavier sound effect weight to it that you're like, damn, like this is brutal. And
Yeah.
then like the blood and everything was pretty gruesome. And this going back to like being part of Flashpoint Paradox, um, it definitely has that darkness to it that really gave this movie its edge and definitely made it more appealing to watch than the
Yeah.
other ones.
It's more visceral because like I feel like a lot of comic book movies they sort of censor that stuff and they sort of don't go all out. So when they actually let the chains loose, it's like blood everywhere, everybody's dying, and these are superhero people, so of course they're gonna freaking hit hard. So it's like
Yeah,
we get to feel that, and that's always good to feel, you know?
yeah. But I also think partially the reason is because again they're villains, so it's like they're not holding back. You know,
Yeah,
heroes, it's like they're always trying to save the people. But villains is like, no, we're villains. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. So, uh, yeah, you definitely see it with this movie, which I really appreciated. My only caveat was I felt that the movie with the sexual jokes and stuff, which I have nothing against it, I just felt like it was kind of overplayed and didn't really do much to the story. So
hmm
that was my only caveat with the movie. But other than that, yeah, it definitely was enjoyable to watch and better than most of the animated movies we've seen since Flashpoint Paradox,
yeah.
at least for me.
It's been a good while since a better DC animated movie came out. Not saying the other ones are bad. It's just they weren't as fun or entertaining to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm a huge fan of all the DC animated movies. Like I've watched pretty much all of them. Like no joke. I've watched like all of them. Um, but this one was good. This one was definitely good. Do you think this one's better than the other Suicide Squad one, or it's
Man,
been a
I might
while,
have to
right?
watch.
Yeah, it's
It's
been a
been a
while.
while since
Yeah,
the other Suicide Squad movie,
because
but I might. Okay, I'll say this. I feel like the other one had a better concept because I do like the idea that, again, it goes back to the whole idea that Suicide Squad, they're in this one mission and they're kind of in this place where they don't know, like basically they're basically going to be sent to kill, basically be sent to killed, but no one really cares about them. So it's like that they play out that whole concept that because they're villains, no one really cares about them. But then because they're doing something for good, you should care about them. So I feel like that first movie really played off of it versus this movie.
hmm
But the way this movie was executed, especially with how it plays with Flashpoint, I definitely think the execution of this movie was more intriguing than the other one. But the other one was definitely, I would say, is a better story.
okay,
Um,
okay. From whatever we can remember, because like
from what I
it's been a
remember.
while. Yeah. And also,
Yeah,
I like the other one a lot too because it has Batman and Joker in it. So,
that's true. Batman,
like, it's
Joker,
that's hard to top.
you
Um,
know, our favorite couple,
yeah.
Batman, Joker.
Anyways, so just to end things off like rather quickly, this is just a quick review. Um, both of us enjoyed this movie a lot, right? Overall,
Yep.
okay,
Overall,
definitely. And one last final scene that I wanted to mention because I really liked it was when Reverse Flash was fighting Bronze Tiger and was just making him like have a whole bunch of cuts. You know, I thought that scene was
oh,
great. Like, I loved it. And
yeah,
when he finally died and then he went back to like that moment he died in Flashpoint, that was interesting too. But yeah,
yeah.
I don't know why. I just really liked Reverse Flash in this movie. Like the fact that he was in it made it so much better to me. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely beat his main villain, which was Vandal Savage.
Yeah,
Vandal Savage was basically forgettable in this one. So,
definitely, definitely.
yeah.